Hello everyone. I'm Ted. And today we will discuss Chapter 21. E-HRM and Green HRM. Let's start. Green HRM, Introduction. Green HRM, Introduction. There is growing demand for going green. Going green means embracing a way of life that helps preserve the environment by reducing, reusing, and recycling items. The aim of going green is to avoid the harmful impacts on environment in any form, pollution, waste disposal, use of resources, etc. To survive and flourish in a competitive world, businesses cannot afford to neglect or discount environmental concerns that have serious long-term impacts on every aspect of human life. Being green is no longer a cost of doing business, it is a catalyst for innovation, new market opportunity, and wealth creation. In a new green world, managers might redesign a product so that it uses fewer environmentally harmful or resource-depleting raw materials, an effort that, if successful, could result in cuts in direct manufacturing costs and inventory savings. Going green could help a business in many different ways, as the following examples indicate. Panasonic. Though you probably know Panasonic as a manufacturer of TVs and cameras, which are business-to-consumer products, it's also a big business-to-business company as well. That's where its green practices are really paying dividends. As a maker of lithium batteries used for electric cars and in-seat airline entertainment systems, Panasonic has gained a big following because of its green practices. It makes sustainable products that other companies can feel good about using. Disney is determined to please companies that have made it a giant by using zero net direct greenhouse gas emission policies within all its facilities. In addition, it is working at reducing the indirect greenhouse gas emissions through the reduction of electrical consumption. Disney also has a zero waste policy, meaning that there is nothing that would end up in landfills. The entertainment giant also uses technology that saves water and is working on lowering the footprint of its product manufacturing and distribution. This is tied up to the company's policy of having a net positive environmental impact that has made Disney a leader in environmental responsibility. Starbucks, the world's largest coffee chain, has long been vocal about its support for recycling, reusing, and supporting sustainability. One of its biggest projects has been encouraging people to employ reusable cups. Paper coffee cups create a huge amount of waste each year. Even the ones that are recyclable aren't always tossed in the right can. Starbucks has long offered reusable heavy-duty coffee mugs, but it also recently introduced lower-key plastic cups designed to look like the iconic original Starbucks cup, for those who really like to advertise that they went to the coffee shop that morning. Although Starbucks is a chain, this is one reason why people are eager to announce their allegiance to it. Starbucks has also installed low-flow water fixtures, and uses low-energy light bulbs as additional ways to help the earth. Adidas, the sneaker and clothing label, undertook a major initiative a few years ago to decrease its worldwide energy use by 15% or by next year. That has helped boost its image both in the US and abroad, and the company has hired experts in every country where it operates to help figure out how best to wean itself off energy. Adidas has even undertaken a project in Brazil that encourages people to donate their old athletic shoes, which are made into sustainable energy sources. Moving next. Defining Green HRM. Defining Green HRM. Green HRM is the use of HRM policies to promote the sustainable use of resources within organizations and, more generally, promotes the causes of environment sustainability. G-HRM is directly responsible in creating green workforce that understands, appreciates, and practices green initiative and maintains its green objectives all throughout the HRM process of recruiting, hiring, training, compensating, developing, and advancing the firm's human capital. It refers to the policies, practices, and systems that make employees of the organization green for the benefit of the individual, society, natural environment, and the business. G-HRM involves undertaking environment-friendly HR initiatives resulting in greater efficiencies, lower costs, and better employee engagement and retention. It may be defined as a set of policies, practices, and systems that stimulate a green behavior of a company's employees in order to create an environmentally sensitive, resource-efficient and socially responsible workplace and overall organization. Moving next. Building a green culture. Building a green culture. Among the most important steps an employer can take to build a green culture include: 1. Be real. There's little point claiming to care about the environment if your organization's actions say otherwise. Be honest in the way you describe your organization's aspirations and efforts to make a positive difference to our planet. 2. Drive from the top. Like any other aspect of culture, change must be driven from the top. Work with the CEO and senior leadership team to ensure they understand not only the environmental but also commercial benefits of a green culture. Focus leaders on the role going green can play in attracting and retaining the best among the millennial generation. 3. Apply your values. Reflect on your organization's values and the ways in which they can be applied to support environmental causes. For example, a commitment to quality can be leveraged to articulate the importance of avoiding waste. 4. Educate. Invest in your team's understanding of environmentally responsible practices. Through training and policies, support people to grow their awareness of the difference they can make. Even small reminders such as the need to turn lights off can make a difference. Challenge ways of operating. Encourage every member of your team to challenge the way in which your business and people operate. Implement operational and policy changes that will allow your team to go about their jobs in a more environmentally sustainable way. Focus your efforts. Channeling fundraising or volunteering efforts towards a targeted charity or cause can have a big impact on employee engagement. While supporting a broad range of initiatives or organizations is valuable, far greater impact is likely to be achieved when people feel united toward a common goal. Provide resources. Invest in resources that support your team's efforts to be environmentally friendly. For example, provide bike racks to encourage people to ride to work, bins to enable recycling and biodegradable products. Reward contributions. Look for opportunities to reward individuals or teams who stick to green practices or achieve improvement targets. Maintaining engagement can in part be achieved by showcasing what the organization and individuals have been able to achieve. Aim for gradual and sustainable change. Rolling out a whole bunch of green initiatives in one hit is unlikely to work. Take a longer-term view of educating and inspiring people to think and act green every day. Reinforce commitment through ongoing review of the approaches you take and initiatives you support. Moving next. Importance. Importance. Advantages. Cut costs. G-HRM aims at bringing down costs without losing top talent. Companies can achieve significant lower costs by going green. Even small businesses can significantly reduce their utility costs by using technologies that are energy efficient and less wasteful. Enhanced savings. G-HRM can achieve operational savings by reducing the carbon footprint. It can significantly reduce the overall costs and thereby enhance overall efficiency of a company as it gets more efficient regarding the use of energy, water, and raw materials. Healthy image. G-HRM can improve the brand image and reputation of a company in the marketplace. Organizations can promote environmental contributions to the media through press releases to earn the attention of potential customers and possible new sales. Gain competitive edge. Through G-HRM, a company can gain the crucial competitive advantage in the industry and marketplace by showcasing how efficiently and effectively it is able to put scarce resources to excellent use. Stimulate innovation. G-HRM can stimulate innovation because employees are committed to improving their company's ecological footprint, and this further facilitates companies' growth and the improvement in quality and enhancement of procedures and methods. 6. Obtain concessions, rebates, tax benefits. Going green is easier with the assistance of governments, local municipalities, water supply authority, and electric companies that offer tax incentives and rebates. 7. Exploit new opportunities. Going green could bring in increased business opportunities. Some government agencies, commercial businesses, and non-profit institutions mandate that only businesses that meet specific green standards can bid on their contracts. Some also mandate that their purchasing departments only buy green products or use products and services sold by companies that meet certain green standards. 8. Caring institution. Going green could create a culture of having concern for the well-being and health of fellow workers. 9. Reduction of environmental damage. Encouraging employees, through training and compensation, to find ways to reduce the use of environmentally damaging materials. Today, most educated and affluent consumers look for companies that adopt environmental standards. Organizations pursuing environment-friendly human resource policies are also immensely benefited. Disadvantages. 1. Time-consuming exercise. As a well-established company, choosing to turn green is not something that will happen overnight. In fact, it can take some time to implement across the board. Also, it will require constant monitoring and effort to ensure all systems that can be converted are. The time it does take is worth it in the long run, however. 2. Prohibitive initial costs. Although going green is not a new concept, much of the technology associated with it is fairly new and certainly more expensive than conventional technology. This means that steps to become more environmentally friendly can be costly initially. Take installing solar power for example. This is a costly investment, especially if large systems are needed. Sure, there will be many savings made once installed, but initially, cost can be very high. 3. Insignificant savings. The aim of going green in many cases, such as building an energy-efficient office or installing waste disposal systems, is to reduce environmental impact while saving money in the long term. Of course, green buildings and vehicles tend to use less energy, so initial costs can often be recouped over time through energy savings. The crux of the problem here is regarding the savings generated by going green are often less than expected. They do not make up for the initial cost quickly enough to make them economically viable. 4. Reduced profits. Some green conversions require an initial cash outlay that decreases the firm's bottom line performance while the investment is paying for itself. This can decrease the annual profits of a firm. 5. Uneven competition. In the business world, going green can be an attractive goal to gain goodwill and consumer support, but unless green improvements are economically viable, it can put a business at a competitive disadvantage. For instance, if one company decides to adhere to strict, self-imposed pollution standards which require the installation of new technology and workers, while another sets loose standards, the second company will be at an advantage since they will have lower production costs. 6. Data-related risks. For some companies, a common method of going green is to minimize or even eliminate the use of paper. This can pose some disadvantages. For example, if employees lose or experience the theft of laptop computers, sensitive information that would normally be kept in a locked paper file could fall into the wrong hands. If companies don't properly back up their computer files, a system crash could prove disastrous. 7. Customer backlash. Companies may intentionally or unintentionally make false claims regarding the environmental friendliness of their products, a process known as greenwashing. A product that insists it has no added chemicals, for example, could be criticized for its choice of wording, since even naturally derived ingredients consist of chemical substances. If consumers become aware that a company is engaging in greenwashing, the company may suffer harm to its credibility. 8. Marginal impact. While going green is focused on reducing harm to the environment, the impact that any specific individual can have on the environment by going green is often negligible. The theory is that if everyone were to go green, it would have a significant and noticeable impact, but not everyone can be convinced to go green, and many believe that doing so has no real impact outside of the economics. This makes going green a personal choice for many. Moving next. Green HRM Functions. Green HRM Functions. Green HRM is the use of HRM policies to promote the sustainable use of resources within organizations and, more generally, promotes the causes of environment sustainability. Sustainability may be defined as the development that meets the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Sustainable development is indeed mostly identified by referring to this creation of a balance between profit, planet, and people. A sustainable organization can be defined as an enterprise that simultaneously contributes economic, social, and environmental benefits, known as the triple bottom line. Sustainability is seen by many as increasingly essential to creating shareholder value, as investors and employees look to organizations to be good corporate citizens. HRM practices empower organizations to create green activities and bestow employees with chances to engage in efforts related to greening the organization. One of the major responsibilities of HR professionals is to get employees support in implementing initiatives that are for the sustainability of the environment. Transforming normal employees into green employees in an organization benefiting the natural environment and society by performing green practices for the development of a system is basically the process of G-HRM. Moving next. HR and sustainability. Green HRM Functions. Organizations are increasingly concerned with sustainability and corporate social responsibility. The HR function is uniquely positioned to assist in both developing and implementing sustainability strategy. The HR function can serve as a partner in determining what is needed or what is possible in formulating corporate values and sustainability strategy. The human resource department of a company has the capability to play a significant role in the creation of their company's sustainability culture. The role of HR in creating sustainable business is two-pronged. As a part of business strategy, HR will have to embrace a more sustainable approach to managing its people. HR will have to learn to manage the whole gamut of issues ranging from employee wellness, healthy, and safety, workplace diversity. The HR staff is likely to be the only department that is resourcefully trained to change the attitudes and behaviors of the executives, managers, and employees by modifying their many human resource systems. In many organizations, the HR department is the custodian of the culture. Configuring HR practices to the principles of sustainability need not necessarily mean changing the HR function. It means that HR people will have view all HR decisions through the prism of shareholders' viewpoint. 1. Job analysis. G-HRM starts even before getting new employees inside the company, during the process of designing or approving, together with other departments, job descriptions, JD, for the newcomers. It is important to have JDs that highlight tasks related to environmental protection or even for job advertisements to mirror a company's social and ecological concerns. 2. Green recruitment. To support a firm's commitment toward sustainability, all recruiting efforts must focus on attracting right talent that believes in and supports green initiatives at all times. Hiring candidates with a green bent of mind makes it easy for firms to hire recruits who are familiar with sustainable processes and have got exposure to basics such as recycling, conservation, and creating a more logical world. To this end, recruitment processes be aligned with environment-friendly issues. The potential job seekers should have a feel of what the employer thinks about environmental goals and what kind of commitment is expected from employees on a day-to-day basis. The potential job seekers could be asked to evaluate the parameters of sustainability and outline action plans that help improve business processes. Are the new recruits made aware with the environmental policies and allegiance of the company at the commencement of the job itself? Research addressing these questions will help the new recruits to carry on with the green policies as well as cooperate with the management in establishing green policies to achieve the goals of the company. 3. Selection methods. After making the first screening of CVs, HR can make sure that the next steps of the selection process will evaluate the candidate's aptitude to have green behaviors. An ordinary question about climate change during an interview or a group dynamic that mixes a business case with sustainability issues are two easy ways to understand someone's degree of ecological awareness. In the end, A green score can also be given to each candidate and added to the overall spreadsheet of scores that will ultimately rank the top candidates. 4. HR operation and onboarding process. Technology should be put to good use when it comes to hiring talent. The newcomers must have a feel of how they are supposed to work in an eco-friendly, paperless environment. Online portals and folders can be used to archive employees' documentation such as offer letters, credentials, CVS, or recommendation letters. Minimal use of printed forms be encouraged. All details relating to health insurance, car contracts, salary, and other information should be done through electronic means. It would be a good idea to explain, through a step-by-step onboarding process, to newcomers as to how the organization perceives green consciousness and encourages everyone to get used to the same. In a nutshell, the employee induction program should be planned in such a way as to enable the induction of new employees into a culture of green consciousness. Employers should highlight the concern for green issues of employees like their health, safety, and green working conditions in the orientation program. 5. Performance management and appraisals. In the Green HRM context, jobs can be grouped into two categories. They are green jobs and other jobs. Green jobs are directly related to the environmental issues of the company. Other jobs are having higher potential to contribute to the environmental performance of the organization. However, they are not directly related to the environmental management function of the organizations. Really, all jobs are not purely related to the environmental issues of the company or green jobs, but contributions of all jobs are required for ensuring the environmental performance of the organization. Green jobs reduce the negative environmental impact of enterprises and economic sectors, ultimately to levels that are sustainable. In order to measure employee performance on green aspects of a job, specific appraisal systems must be designed that include sustainability goals, sustainability strategy measured with specific metrics. Getting appropriate data on environmental performance standards across different organizational departments/units, however, is not an easy task. Seeking certifications such as ISO 14001 or the Global Reporting Initiative etc. would help in evaluating employee performance on jobs in an objective way. When it comes to the performance appraisal of managers, green targets, goals, and responsibilities such as creating green awareness in their teams and encouraging them to get involved in green activities of the company can also be considered. In the end, the ultimate goal of green performance management. Green performance management consists of issues related to environmental concerns and policies of the company. It also concentrates on use of environmental responsibilities, is to have a measurable outcome of an organization's ability to meet its ecological objectives and targets set forth in the organization's environmental plans or policies. 6. Green training and development. Green training and development educate employees about the value of environmental issues, train them in working methods that conserve energy, reduce waste, diffuse environmental awareness within the organization, and provide opportunity to engage employees in environmental problem solving. Green T&D activities help employees evaluate the pros and cons of environmental management and appreciate the value of going green in order to stay ahead of competition. It helps them to embrace different methods of conservation including waste management within an organization. Further, it sharpens the skills of an employees to deal with environmental issues in a competent way. 7. Green compensation. In the context of G-HRM, the compensation package should be adapted to reward green skills acquisition and achievement by employees. Monetary, non-monetary and recognition-based environmental reward programs and incentive plans including bonuses may be intertwined with performance-based outcomes that support eco-friendly activities. Carbon emission standard and regeneration sources of energy are the key issues to be examined while linking payments to green efforts carried out employees from time to time in accordance with the overall organizational strategy. When rewards are aligned to the process of G-HRM, then a kind of green culture begins to take shape. It encourages green behaviors among employees. Going one step further, managers may ask employees to come forward with green ideas pertaining to their individual jobs. Once a course of action is chalked out, managers can even link green goals and their achievement to employee behaviors and rewards. Green rewards can include the use of workplace and lifestyle benefits, ranging from carbon credit offsets to free bicycles, to engage people in the green agenda while continuing to recognize their contribution. Last, but not the least, more emphasis should be given on researches which determine effective approaches that will help to design and implement green compensation practices and may lead to the achievement of corporate environmental goals. 8. Green employee relations. Employee relations are that aspect of HRM which is concerned with establishing amicable employer-employee relationship. The relationship facilitates motivation and morale of the employees as well as increases the productivity. Basically, employee relations involve employee participation and empowerment activities. It also helps prevent and resolve problems arisen at workplace that may affect the work. In fact, positive employee relations are an intangible and enduring asset and a source of competitive advantage for any organization. Positive employer-employer relations help an organization resolve ticklish issues in an atmosphere of active involvement and close participation. When employees actively participate in green initiatives, it increases the chances of aligning employees' goals and motivations with green management practices and systems. To promote a kind of green culture across various functions and departments, the organization should welcome employees who are passionate about environmental issues and make best use of applying their skills. Ideas that help in perpetuating a healthy, green culture must be welcomed and even rewarded from all employees irrespective of their status and designation. The HR staff needs to pressurize the management to create a participative work environment where the employees are free to put up their ideas on green issues since they are the ones who in reality are responsible for implementing ethical corporate behavior in the day-to-day life of the organization. This means the achievement of green outcomes will largely depend on employees' willingness to collaborate, as often, the best ideas come from the employees who work in that particular area. The scope of employee relations should be broadened by initiating a suggestion scheme within the organization, wherein each and every employee from topmost to the lowest level gets an opportunity to contribute to the scheme. This practice will help in creating greater awareness on green issues. Besides, new ideas for eco-friendly practices might crop up from different sources. Moving next. Going green, the Infosys Way. Going green, the Infosys Way. Sustainability has been a core business principle at Infosys since the company's inception. As a global corporation, we believe that it is our duty to make our business sustainable. Our growth is intricately linked to the welfare of the environment we operate in. Our sustainability policy is guided by the principle of a sustainable ecosystem. We work with customers and governments to develop viable solutions and governance frameworks. We engage with the United Nations Global Compact for coordinated action towards sustainable development. Our sustainability initiatives focus on the following key areas. Social contract. Infosys has pledged to make a difference to society by actively participating in community development. Our social contract inspires more than employees to contribute to community welfare, environment sustainability and digital literacy. Resource intensity. Infosys believes in using natural resources responsibly to protect the environment. Our resource efficiency framework is based on a smart approach to logistics, buildings, and data centers. We reduce our ecological footprint with sustainable practices across several areas. Green infrastructure. All new buildings since 2008 are registered for Green Building Rating, LEED/GRHOT, and aim to achieve the highest level of green rating. Our new buildings are, on average, 50% or lower in energy consumption American Samoa compared to the 2007 levels. We aim to be carbon neutral by FY 2018. Energy conservation. We have committed to reduce our per capita energy consumption by 50% or over FY 2008 levels by FY 2018, and also source 100% of all our electricity from renewable resources by FY 2018. Across our India operations, we have already reduced our per capita energy consumption by 23% in FY 2011, as compared to FY 2008 levels. Water sustainability. We are working towards being water sustainable and have reduced our per capita water consumption by 8% in FY 2011, as compared to FY 2008 levels across our India operations. Preserving and promoting biodiversity. We plant one new tree for every employee who joins us, and have planted more than 81,000 trees in the last 3 years alone, taking the total count to 180,000. Waste management. We have set up biogas plants in our MySolar campus to recycle organic waste to generate energy, which is utilized in our campuses. Green innovation. Infosys is focused on green IT to improve the quality of life, protect the environment and transform business. We also help our clients to make their operations more sustainable, and to transform into low-carbon businesses. Our new building at the G-HRM campus in Hyderabad is an excellent example of the disruptive designs we have introduced to minimize our energy consumption. Some of the key technologies adopted in this building include designing the building according to solar passive principles that have a high-performance envelope, consisting insulated walls and roof. The windows in this building have a high-performance glass in a double-glazed unit with argon gas. This ensures that the overall solar heat gain is limited to 1 W/square foot. 2. The width of the floor plate is restricted to 16 meters, to ensure proper daylighting from the north and south-facing windows. The windows are split into the upper daylight pane with higher visual transmittance, and the lower vision pane that is completely shaded with horizontal louvers and vertical fins. This ensures that the entire office is daylit without glare, from 8 a.m. through 5 p.m. 3. The artificial lights provided in the building for the nighttime use are very efficient and use the volumetric lighting concept to provide better illumination. 4. The Infosys IT team incorporated energy efficiency as one of its parameters for procurement. The new desktops consume only 80 watts of power, as opposed to the older systems that consume 200 watts. The overall plug loads in the office were restricted to only 1 W/square ft. We introduced radiant cooling instead of air conditioning. Radiant cooling uses water and radiation as opposed to air and convection for heat transfer. In order to make a compelling case for a more efficient cooling system, we decided to radiant cool only the west half of the building, while the eastern half continued to be air-conditioned. 6. The building is operated by a state-of-the-art building management system, which showed that after 6 months of operations the radiant system is 30% or more efficient than the air conditioning side. This data has been validated by Technische Universität Braunschweig, Germany. The overall performance of this new building is 50% or better than any other building in similar climate zone, and will serve as a benchmark for all future buildings in our campuses. Moving next. How to implement Green HRM. How to implement Green HRM. HRM may contribute to environmental management in companies if they recruit and select people committed to the environment, train and evaluate employees' performance based on environmental criteria, implement ways of rewarding individual and collective environmental performance is remunerated and non-remunerated ways, stimulate continuous education in environmental management, treat environmental aspects as values of corporate culture, promote interaction between teams to deal with environmental problems and strive for continuous improvement of environmental management activities. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. This video is brought to you by Bookstune. Like this video to encourage us. Share this video to spread the knowledge. And subscribe to this channel for latest update.